Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to run a quick tutorial on using the Snapshot Copies Backup feature that Netapp offers via its Data on Tap OS. This is Module 5 in the Netapp Storage Lab. Before we start, this tutorial assumes that you have already gone through the previous modules of the lab and set up a working vSIM and testbed network. So I will not be covering things like creating volumes, queue trees, and creating CIFs and NFS shares and exports. There are a few other things that I will point out as we're working through the exercises as well. Finally, hopefully all of the following tasks will yield the expected results, but as I'm sure all of you are aware, when working in IT frequently things do not go as planned. I actually had an issue on the first run through this material in task 2, specifically with permissions in the etc folder. Somehow ownership of the files had changed to creator-owner instead of administrator, so I did not have the read-write access as an admin and had to remedy this in order to delete and restore files. This should not be a problem for you, but I am just pointing out that as with anything, you may need to do an extra step not covered specifically in the module material to get the desired result. Anyway, let's begin. First, we will go to our Windows 8 box that we're using to manage our vSIM. Then, log into On-Command System Manager and log into our storage appliance. From here, we will open Volumes and then click on NFS Vol. From here, click Snapshot Copies and Create. We will then need to give our snapshot a name, something simple like Snap A as seen in the documentation. Next we will open PuTTY and tunnel into our vSIM. Again, I'm assuming you've already configured PuTTY to do so. Once at the command line for our vSIM, we need to check a few settings before continuing. We'll first type vol options vol 0. This will display a bunch of information for us. However, what we are interested in is create ucode and convert ucode, as these will affect our permissions down the line. As you can see, they're turned off, so we will need to turn them on. Do this simply by typing vol options vol 0 create underscore ucode on, and the same for convert. We can now double check that these both have been turned on, and as we can see, they have been. Next, we need to ensure that we have at least one snapshot copy on vol 0. We do this by typing snap create vol 0 and then a name. Again, I've gone with Snap A. We'll now just check that the snapshot copy has been made using the same snap list command. Yes, we can see it has been. Minimize PuTTY and open Run. You want to head to the IP address of your storage appliance, specifically the C drive. Open the etc folder and find the export.back file. Delete this, and now we're going to go back out and open PuTTY again. We want to make sure that the snapshot folder is visible, and to do this, the first thing we need to check is the option in the vSIM itself. Type options cifs.show underscore snap shot on. Now head back to the Windows Explorer window and make sure you've got show hidden files on. Head into the snapshot folder and then find Snap A and down to etc and find the file we've just deleted. All you want to do is copy this back to the etc folder where we just deleted it from. Just make sure it's there. As you can see, it is. For the next task, we are going to delete and restore a file via Linux. Here again, I'm assuming you have a functioning Linux box already ready to go. First, we'll open up a command window to said Linux box. I'm using Ubuntu server, but you can use whatever you wish. Once we're at the CLI, we're going to navigate to NFS tree 1 that we'd already previously created. It should be inside the mounted folder for your storage app, and yours will obviously look different to mine. So, once in NFS tree 1, we will list all of the files in the directory, ls-al I find is the best for format of the display results. Then remove file 1. Now we will navigate to the snapshot copies folder to restore the file. Again, want to see the contents here. Navigate to snap A, our most recently created one. Once in here, again, we want to see what's here, and simply copy file 1 back to its original location where we just deleted it from. For me, that's mnt/vsim2/nfs_tree1. But as I've previously mentioned, this will obviously be different to you, so you'll need to adapt that as you see fit. We are now going to then navigate back to NFS tree 1 just to make sure the file has been copied and everything looks back to as it should do before we started this. To check, you can do a simple list command, or you can type ls-1 and then the file name, and both of these will give you the same result, i.e. telling you that the file is back where it should be. Right, next we are going to look at some of the configurations options for snapshot copies. So go back to your Windows management box and into On Command System Manager. We'll go up to, whilst NFS vol is still highlighted, we'll go up to NAS vol and then go to Configure. Here you can see we can configure the snapshot reserve and all of the different times we can set snapshots to occur, and obviously that will depend on your situation. Another thing to look at is to notice how little space the snapshot copies actually take up themselves. It's very little, and that's quite an advantage of the snapshot copy system. For the next task, we are going to restore a file using the built-in Windows Previous Version tool. Open up your PuTTY window and we'll just quickly create a simple text file. Use this by doing the WR file command followed by the location we wish to create this text file. Next, we'll type in the line that we want to appear in the text file, and once we're done, break, which is done by Control-C. Disregard the error as it's not important. And next, just check the snapshot copies we've made. We can still see snap A is there from earlier, but we want to make a new one. To do snap create, and then vol0, and then the name of your snapshot, which can be anything. I've used snap1. This will create the new snapshot and back up the files we just made. We then want to read the file we also just made. Do that by using the rd file command followed by the location of the file you just created above. This will display the line of text we entered. Now, next we want to overwrite that file and add some more text to it. Do this by typing wr file -a and then the location of the file itself, followed by the text that you want to overwrite. After doing this, we want to read the file again to see what it looks like now we've added the extra text. That's as expected, so now head back to your storage appliance via the run command. And you can see the files here that we've made. As you can see, it's been updated with the new text. Now go to Properties, Previous Versions, and select the most recent version of the file. You should only have one there if you're just doing this for the first time. You can see that's the old version. We'll go Restore and go through say yes to all the prompts. Now head back and we'll just double check, and as expected the file's back to the first one we made before the snapshot copy was created and then restored. Thank you for your attention today. I hope this was informative.